On the last episode of the Financial Freedom Pod, we touched on one of the most important aspects of investing beyond getting capital growth and getting dividends. It's what it costs to invest. Certified financial planner Warren Ingram, give me an example of just how devastating overpaying for investing can be.
So let's sketch the scenario that Warren and Bruce, each are lucky enough to get 80,000, and we start the year with 80,000, and we decide to invest our money equally in the same way. In other words, you put it into something that's going to generate 7% a year, and I put it into something that's going to generate 7% a year. And we're going to leave it for 25 years because we've been listening to the Financial Freedom Pod, and we know that long-term is good. So the only difference is that Bruce is going to pay 0.5% a year, and Warren forgets to look at his costs, and he's paying 2% a year. So two investments growing at 7% per year equally, both starting with 80,000, both leaving it for 25 years. One costs 2%, the other costs 0.5%. After the 25 years, we go and check our accounts. Bruce has got 386,000 in his account. He's feeling very happy. Warren goes to look, and he's got 271,000. He's feeling very happy until he compares notes with Bruce and realizes he's paid 115,000 more in lost growth because of the fees. So it's not a case of just looking at the actual cost. It's the cost plus the lost growth on the cost over a long period of time that really starts to hurt. And that's the difference, Bruce. It's an 115,000 difference over that time. It's almost a third of the growth that you've got that I've just lost to fees.
It's I suppose the action is paying attention to that very seemingly insignificant number. Well, pay 1%, pay 2%, big deal. Look at the growth, look at the history of this thing. Ultimately, if they continue with that great growth story, that's great. That's really good for you. Wonderful. But it could cost you hugely in the long term.
Yeah. And just understanding what your costs are and work them out in the actual currency. Don't work it out to a percentage because, psychologically 1% or 2% just doesn't feel like a lot of money. When you go and take that calculator and you work it out relative to the actual money you've got invested, then you start to say, well, that's almost, kind of a good few thousand in a month or in a year. That just doesn't seem right. Can I do better? Can I do, can I get lower cost for the same thing? Then it starts to make a lot more sense. So you need to really analyze those costs top to bottom, Bruce. Don't just look at, the one layer. There might be 3 or 4 layers in your costs of investments, and you have to tally them up.
I'm feeling an episode on compounding coming on. If it works for you, you're winning. If it works against you, as in this example, you're losing money. And that is not a very good outcome at all. We'll talk about compounding soon. Warren Ingram, Certified Financial Planner. I'm Bruce Whitfield. This is the Financial Freedom Pod.